Hi everybody, my name's Luke. I work at Growth Tribe. I'm one of the lead speakers and trainers here, and we're going to do a follow-up video to why your company needs rapid experimentation. We're going to talk about blockers. We're going to do 9 blockers in 6 minutes to help you overcome these blockers. First blocker, your team doesn't have the room to do experimentation. The growth team needs a little bit of freedom. They need freedom to do experiments, they need support from the other teams. So if you can't do that, you should try and allocate the time, like 50-50 or at least 60-40. Give these teams room to scale your business by giving them support from other teams, maybe a bit of budget and the freedom to fail. Blocker number 2, they're not miracle workers. What you're gonna need is you're gonna need to give your growth hackers support, a little bit of tender love and care. They're gonna need help from salespeople, IT people. They're gonna need help from operations, the senior team above them. Your job when you hire a growth hacker is to make sure that they have a smooth introduction and integration with your organization. The third one is that the immune system of your company isn't quite set up to be ready for growth hackers. What you're going to need to do is you're going to need to sit down with all the key stakeholders of your business, so marketing, operations, IT, procurement, legal, risk and compliance. And you're going to have to tell them, we're going to bring in growth hackers and they're going to try and get shit done. They might step on some toes. They might be unsure the way that we've always done it, because they're going to try and change that mindset. So you need to make sure that you get alignment documentation beforehand. Get the growth hackers to send you 7 ideas of what they want to try and experiment on, and then get that feedback from legal, get that feedback from risk and compliance, and see if there are any problems that you can overcome ahead of time. Otherwise, there's going to be no point in bringing growth hackers into your organization. So the fourth blocker, and so we've spoken about the immune system. This one is more at the top level. All the C's, or the COOs, or the CTOs, or the CFOs, you need to get buy-in as a growth hacker from these people. So if you're trying to implement growth in your organization, you need to make sure you do it top down and bottom up. Otherwise, it's going to be an uphill battle. You're going to try and run experimentation, and you're going to have to find a way to work with these people. Sit down with the CEO and work on a North Star metric. This is what we're trying to achieve, and this is how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to need your backing, otherwise this is going to be impossible. If you get into an organization and they expect you to be sending tweets instead of running experimentation, then you have not aligned with the C-level management properly. So whoever brought you in needs to do a better job at making sure that they understand what growth is, and they tell the rest of the organization that this is a growth hacker and this is what they're meant to do. So the fifth point, and one of the reasons I absolutely love growth hacking, is the ranking process. So when we have ideas, we rank them through 2 main frameworks, brass and pies. This means that we remove subjectivity for decision making. That decision making where the highest paid person in the room, also known as the hippo, decides that this is what you're going to work on because he or she is the most senior person in the room. So using the ranking system that we have removes subjectivity, removes opinion-based decision making. It removes emotions, seasonal effect from what you decide to do and what you decide not to do. The ranking is a great leveler for organizations. That means you can work on the best ideas first. So blocker number 6, what we find is that people that we work with at Growth Tribe sometimes work with agencies. We have nothing against agencies. What we want you to do is we want you to make sure that you're working with agencies that give you access to the data, because without data, you're just guessing. So control the data, own the data, and give them access to it. Or only work with agencies that give you really good insight, oversight, and access to the data that they're using to justify why they've done what they've done. So blocker number 7, without the data, you're just guessing. So what we want to see is that you've set up reporting correctly, that you have access to the data related to campaigns, and that you're tracking both the hard and the soft data. Without this, you're not going to know if an experiment worked or not, or why it failed. And this means that you can't carry on doing rapid experimentation, because the key to rapid experimentation is to learn what worked and do it again and again and again. So here are some tips to make sure that you're avoiding these data blockers. Hire data people that can help you give the insight into what worked and why it didn't work. And then the other thing you have to make sure you do is study both the soft and the hard data, so the quantitative and qualitative data, because quantitative shows us what happened and qualitative data shows us why it happened. So number 8 is doubt and uncertainty. This is probably one of the most common problems or blockers that we see for growth hackers. This shouldn't be a problem if you've already outlined what you're going to try and achieve with the senior management team, and you have the guidelines from compliance, risk, and legal. So the second thing you should be able to do is to have really good support from your boss. And the third most important part is you need to implement a culture of experimentation inside your organization. Things like it's okay to fail. You're going to run some very risky experiments that might give you massive reward, or they might fail miserably. We have a fail party here for every 10 failed experiments that are linked to one metric that matters. So blocker 9, your teams can't execute. Big problem that we see inside organizations is you don't have the skills to get shit done. So you have to do more training, you have to increase your tool stack, so use tools to plug this skills gap, or to build teams that can help each other. So you can need the data scientist, the growth hacker, the UX and UI designer, and you can need to use the product manager. And together you have a super team with superpowers that can help you grow. So the final solution to this is hire those great people, and you need to continue continuously do training. If you stop for a microsecond, you're behind on absolutely everything from digital to search engine optimization to product optimization to growth. So that was 9 blockers that we see quite often at Growth Tribe. And I've hopefully helped you think of ways to solve these problems. There's tons more videos that David, Alina, and Bernardo have done on YouTube that can help you think of other ways to solve these problems. Then watch this one and we can try and help you out in terms of getting growth inside your organization.